In life, success is really about knowing as many people as possible. But I would even add to that, in life, the more successful you can get depends on how many people actually know you. So hi guys, it's Lynn Padetti here, and in this video, I want to share with you how you can build your personal brand in 2021 so that more people will know you, like you, and trust you and want to do business with you. Okay, first up, let's talk about personal branding. What is it? It's really about building your authority, your thought leadership, and getting people to really see you as an expert in your field. And so most people, if you are looking for someone, you would always Google. So you want to ask yourself, when people Google me up, what do they see online? And if you're new to building your brand, there's probably nothing at all apart from your Facebook personal page or maybe your Instagram page. But most of the time when people are starting out with social media, they don't even have a proper page, meaning they might be on those channels, but they're not really using it to build their personal brand. So first of all, you should ask yourself, what do you want people to find when they Google you? So this is where you need to be on as many platforms as possible, but also building a page that really represents who you are and what you want the world to see. So let's start with the first platform, which if I was to start fresh from the beginning and I didn't have any presence online, what would I do first? My number one would be I would build out a really great LinkedIn profile. So assuming you're in business here, right? This is why you want to build a personal brand. Then I would create a LinkedIn profile. Actually, even if you don't have a business and you're working for someone, it's really important to build your resume on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is great because it's really about trying to build your career or build a business. So LinkedIn is where I would go first, and you want to make sure that you have a really great profile picture. And here's the thing about personal branding. You should always invest in photography, great photography, because you don't want to be taking a photo from your phone or from a crappy camera and just look. Whatever you show to the world is what people are going to perceive. So if you want to be shown as a professional, successful person, then you want to be taking really great photos of yourself and take it regularly. Don't just take it once every 10 years, but schedule to take it at least once a year or once every 6 months, etc. Well, I do it once every few months, but I think at least once every year because you're always changing and you want to also show your updated new look. At the end of the day, building a personal brand is not a once off and forget. I want to share with you that you will be using those photos to be scheduling it across your social media as well. So number one is LinkedIn. Explain clearly what your profile is, update every single features that they offer. For example, awards, accolades, experiences, ask people for recommendation, and just really build out and fill out every single detail to the max. To the max meaning like great information rather than just whipping one quickly up. There's no point in having a page and the page doesn't say anything great about you. So really focus on building it out. And anything you do in life, I always recommend to do everything slowly but good. So start with LinkedIn, build it out really amazing, and just put a lot of effort in rather than try to create a quick page of LinkedIn, create another page of Instagram, create a bit of this, but then don't look good or put effort in any of them. So now that you've got that out of the way and imagine you've started to do LinkedIn really well, then slowly add other channels like Instagram and do that really, really well. Instagram and Facebook is quite similar. What I love is that it's synced to one another. So when I do create Instagram, I create a Facebook account and the same post gets pushed out to both channels. So this is where you start to expand to new channels, but don't add too many channels because you can't do it well versus, sticking to, let's just say YouTube and LinkedIn and do it really well before you go into those other channels or trying to do any other strategies. The next tip to build your brand is to have ongoing content. So it's really important to kind of be in front of mind for everybody and to add value to people. So every day you want people to show up and go, oh, here's Lynn talking again. Oh, what's Lynn got to say today? And always be in front of mind. And this is when people will start to notice you and will recommend you. So even if the people that are seeing your post don't need your stuff, they will know people who need your stuff. So when you are creating content, valuable content, not just any content, and really add value to people's lives, they will always remember you and they will let other people who may be asking for the services that you offer and refer to you. Now, to build your brand, the more content you create, the better. And so, as long as you just commit to posting, starting off whether it's 3 times a week and then slowly get used to it and increase it to 5. This is the more you create content, the better. But also I always want to remind you it's quality over quantity. Now I also mix my content up with sometimes showing behind the scene of what happens at my company, some documents or PDFs that I want to share to add value to people. So it doesn't always have to be videos, but video is a great way to build your brand authority. But then I also mix it up with things that will add value to people, so they can go, oh my God, I want to stay connected with her because she keeps giving me free and helpful resources. Now, content is not the only thing you do. You have to actually socialize and engage with people. So this is when people are liking or commenting on your post, you should respond back. You should direct message people as well. As you do a lot more content to build your brand, people will start wanting to connect with you. So instead of you trying to reach out to people, if you don't have any content, any branding out there and you're connecting with people are like, who are you? Why should I follow you? Versus when you start to create a lot of content and valuable, people will warm up to you, and then they will want to add to you, and then it's easier to talk to people who want to talk to you than the people that don't want to talk to you. Okay, so what kind of content should you post? I recommend really thinking about video. So videos like this, as you can see, because I'm creating video, you feel like you got to know me, you feel like you can see my personality, my attitude, and my tone of voice, because you can read someone's social media posts all day long, but you never really feel like you get to know that person. You can also see their photo and kind of get an idea of what they're like, but it's only until they start talking that you're like, oh my God, I can relate to her, or I can feel her. There's a lot more emotion. So video is the best form of content. And what I found is, I really wish that I stuck through with YouTube back 10 years ago, but it took me so many trial and error to continue on YouTube. But yeah, something that I do regret. But now that I'm really committed on YouTube, I really see its power. So creating ongoing content on YouTube helps you to create confidence, also to get your words out there, your message out there, and you can repurpose the video content into snippets, which you can then share it on your LinkedIn, for example. Now, at this moment in time, I haven't mentioned other social media channels, because looking back, I also wish that I stuck through and do really well on one channel before I move into another channel and then dabble into all these channels and doing not well in any of them. So it's important to learn the craft from one channel first and do it well and create a system and process. And once you get used to it, then move on to another channel. But what I do love about kind of leveraging YouTube and LinkedIn is that YouTube is a long form content. So if I'm going to do video, I'll do a long form content. It's easier to talk 10 minutes than to try to talk and deliver your message within 1 minute. So this is where you would cut it into snippets and then share it on LinkedIn. But as you know, it takes many years to actually get comfortable on video and to also know what to talk about, and even to the production side, holding yourself accountable to actually create ongoing video is the hard part. So this is where I actually created a new company called Dawn Media Productions, because I know the pain point. I've been there, right? And so I've created a service to actually help people build their personal brand by helping to facilitate the video content. So meaning, instead of thinking, okay, what am I going to talk about today? We at Dawn Media Productions actually facilitate the interview, ask you all the questions that you need to just sit there and answer, and you feel like you're talking to a friend, like a conversation, and then we pick the best snippets to edit and make into social media content for you. So I decided to create this service because I know the importance of personal branding, I know the importance of video, and I know that it takes years to try to practice to do it on your own. And so I just created that because I wanted people to gain and earn the power of personal branding without having to wait for years to get good at it. And so we just do all the work for them. Now, my next tip is to get to know people deeply. So I would regularly have one-on-one consultation, or not consultation, but catch up with people that I meet online. So it's not okay to, for years on end, just liking, commenting and chatting online. Take that offline. This is where you build deep relationships. And when people really get to know you and have this deep one-on-one conversation, they will then know more about you, tell more people about you. And this is where I start to get a lot of referrals coming in all the time, because I actually spend quality time with real people, not just based it on virtual relationships. Now, the next thing that I would recommend is even starting your own podcast interview. Now, I did mention before that you can start your YouTube channel, easily create videos. And another way that you can do that is actually interview people on your channel. So this is what I do a lot in my channel, where I find experts, guest experts, and ask them, do you want to be on my channel? And when we have a one-on-one chat with each other, it kind of kills two birds with one stone. One is we are having a deep and meaningful conversation. Second, it's really about them and building a relationship with them, and it helps me to create content, and it helps to get me out. People get to know me as well. And so I just find it much more effective than asking people, hey, do you want to have a one-on-one chat? They're like, what do you want to chat about? Versus, do you want to go on a podcast? And people are like, yeah, sure, I get to share my content, and then you get to learn from them and get to spend time with them. And so inviting people on your own podcast is a great way for yourself, but you should also try to get yourself on other people's podcasts. But this is where you get to leverage from creating a lot of great content, is that people will start reaching out to you as well to ask you whether you want to be on their podcast, because they've seen your amazing content, they've seen your personality, and they actually want you to be on their show. But if you check one of my other videos in the past, I spoke to Christy Molena, who was my guest expert. She actually teaches you how to get on people's podcasts. So it's a great strategy where you actually identify who you want to be on and reach out as well. So there's ways. One is you can wait for people to ask you to be on a podcast, or you can proactively get on people's podcasts by, following a specific strategy. Now, my final tip for building your brand is to have your own website. As early as possible, check to find your domain name. Make sure you claim your domain, because there's only one of you, your first name and surname. Try to find the domain name so that you could buy it and save it for yourself, even if you're not ready to build a website yet. Now that you're ready to build a website, what's good about it is that this is like your online resume. So when people are searching for your name, they will probably come across your website because it says your name on it. And this is where you can always update any information you want in the way that you want. So if there are services that you want people to know about you, maybe you run multiple companies, maybe you have samples and portfolios and reviews that you want to share on there, or maybe you want to give away free resources, your website just gives you a lot more flexibility in what you want to do with it versus hosting your details on LinkedIn or Facebook. It's obviously under the structure that is, on their platform. Whereas on your website, you can kind of design your website in any way that you want. Finally, this is for those who's got the money, who can invest in building their own website. But at first, if you're trying to build a brand, you don't even need a website, because when people are searching your name, they'll probably come across those social media channels anyway, because they're highly ranked on Google. Basically, start making content, start choosing your channel, start making consistent content. And if you can't do your own content consistently and professionally, then do check out my new company, Dawn Media Productions. But hope you enjoy it, guys. Those are the tips. If I was to start again fresh and not having any brand out there, this is what I would do. This is where I would create amazing content, stay consistent. At the end of the day, remember, it's who knows you, not who you know, that is going to make a difference in your life. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then let me know or ask me any questions in the comments below. But if you'd like more content like this to help you grow your business, I have some more over here.